We're here outside of Martha's Place on Pennsylvania Avenue, and this is the first garden we created in about 2001, 2002. We call this Martha's Gardens, and it's a meditative area. It's divided into different spaces, and it serves as a sanctuary for the ladies that are in our Martha's Place recovery program. This area, before we began work on it, it was rocky, barren soil. There were huge steel shipping containers plowed into the earth, one on the east and the west side of the garden. There's a junkyard next to us, and they had taken over the area. So it was a wasteland. And to have the transformation that it has become is very profound. And in addition to the visual of it, some terrible things took place on this lot. Right behind me, one of our board members had a friend about 15 years ago walking along Pennsylvania Avenue, was held up at gunpoint, brought behind me here, shot in the head and left for dead. So for us to have this kind of transformation where a place that was dangerous and just unsightly is now this place of healing and meditation is very important transformation and significant to us. Across the street we have a very special space that we call our Choose Life Memorial, and that's also a vacant lot, or was a vacant lot, that we were able to acquire and transform it into a meditative space. And it's a memorial to the lives that were lost in our community to drugs. Folks that have overdosed from an addiction, folks that have lost their lives to the violence of being on the street. We've had folks that have been gunned down right on our corners, being involved in the drug trade. And so in the middle of that garden we have a post with 100 names on it of community members that we've collected whose lives have been lost to drugs in that regard. And it's a way for us to remember those folks and to pay tribute to them, and also to keep in mind the seriousness of what we're still dealing with as a community as far as drugs and addiction are hurting us. At a conscious or an unconscious level, it's definitely a choice to either have this bold spirit to push on through, to choose that life of perseverance, or to give up hope. We certainly have enough folks in our community that have, I think, just been beaten down, and whether it's led them to get involved in the drug trade or succumb to depression. This is not easy living here. The process of turning around a life after 20, 30 years of addiction is obviously very profound. It's something that fortunately I never had to contend with in my own life, so I can only grasp the significance for our ladies that are going through that process. Many of them have been in some terrible, terrible situations, and some traumatizing conditions. So for them to go through the recovery program here and to go on to have their own home, to have restored relationships with their family, this is some profound transformations. And really, I think in a lot of ways it's reflective also of what our organization of Newborn Holistic Ministries is trying to see for our community, this kind of rebirth. Just like our ladies are reclaiming their lives, we're trying to reclaim our community and our neighborhood here on Pennsylvania Avenue.